Merchandising. Go to teespring.com and make sure you get you a Goods T-shirt. It's where the real money's made on YouTube, not on the AdSense or all the Patreons. We need you to go and buy a shirt. That way we're no longer poor.
Hi guys, welcome to the show. I'm Manny.
I'm Terrence.
And here are the goods. After 3 weeks for me!
Has it been 3 weeks?
It's been 3 weeks for me.
I feel like it's been a whole month.
It's been a long freaking time. And guess what? You know what? It's all about trying to transition the theater into a safe place for people to be comfortable enough to come back. To set up
the five people that came in to see New Mutants.
To set up the 20 people.
The 20 people that
came to see the New Mutants.
That's right.
New Mutants is finally out.
You guys had to do a lot of work, right?
Oh yeah, but New Mutants is finally out. Have you seen it?
I have seen it.
What do you think?
I can definitely tell that this film was done a long time ago.
3 years. This was actually done 3 years ago, 3 years ago.
A long time ago, and I could see where they were hesitant, where like they thought that maybe we shouldn't release this film. But I felt like for what they gave us, if it had been on demand or on the streaming service, it'd have been fine for that. For a theatrical release, this shouldn't have been a theatrical release.
All right, okay, so you said they know whether to release it, but I think, there's some factors though.
Okay.
Don't know whether to release it because one, the movie sucks.
Sucks is hard.
Okay. No. I'm talking about their thinking.
Okay.
Either they thought the movie sucked.
Okay.
They know that this merger's coming through between Fox and Disney.
Right.
Or did I mention the movie sucked? Or that fear of having such strong horror-based comic content would scare off, moviegoers.
Which is why it would have worked better on demand.
And I agree with you on that.
Which is why it would have worked better on demand. One, it would have got more buzz to their streaming service to be able to put another film on the streaming service and, get more people to subscribe back. Because right now, because of everything being on hiatus, to put this, if they'd have just done this at the beginning of COVID, just like when we got with Trolls 2 or 3 or whatever Trolls that one was. I guess it was
Trolls
3.
2.
It was 2. Okay. So, how much recognition did that movie garner just by being the only thing that had got released as a new film on demand? Is like, or even the one with the Hunger Games knockoff one, The Hunt, and it was like that movie.
Hunger Games knockoff,
Yeah.
Surviving the Game knockoff.
I mean, it was Surviving the Gang knockoff, or Hard Target knockoff.
Hard Target.
The Hunt. Nobody would have saw that film if it was nothing else to see. It was like, so if they'd have put it on demand, it would have had more impact to it, and people they wouldn't have been as harsh to this film if it went straight to video.
All right, so
Including
New Mutants did premiere with a $7 million weekend.
Okay.
Now, normally, $7 million bucks, $7
$7 million when you only got 20 people coming in.
Right. In each state. But because of the pandemic, because right now, the pandemic has affected entertainment altogether.
Right.
And it has delayed projects, big budget projects. It's delayed that, So the comfort level of moviegoers as far as going back to the theater, it's got to be worth it. Now, Unhinged premiered at #1 the week before.
Okay.
And it was fair. I want to say that was 6-7 million also.
Okay, so it was on track for what they had been doing.
Original content, because obviously Unhinged is original content. New Mutants is part of the X-Men universe, so it's borderline a tentpole.
Okay.
So to kind of like test the waters, I think it was actually smart for Disney to hold on to it because it's Fox's movie, so they really didn't. They're not going to really lose anything on it.
They were going to lose anything. Who cares? They don't care that the fact that it made $7 million. It could have. The only thing they would have been like, oh my God, it made like $25 million. We didn't expect that. Let's do another New Mutants film. But anything, it could have made $5. It'd have been like whatever.
But to test the waters to see if what they want to do with Black Widow, this being a semi-tentpole, it kind of lets them test it. Like I said, lets them test the waters to see what's out there.
what's going to happen if
Yeah,
we release the
are
film.
the moviegoers are going to come out? Now, to your point,
I mean, more people want to see Black Widow than they wanted to see New Mutants.
I know. And had they gone the simultaneous route where they put out New Mutants in theater and in
They would have made. They would have made.
I thought they would have made more money.
They would
But
have
that's
made
just
way more money. It's just that I think this also appeased the movie theaters to where like they didn't want everything to go video on demand, so that way they felt like they were being cut out. Like they felt like they were being cut out.
Well, they got screwed
especially
out
AMC.
They got screwed out of Mulan.
Yeah, I mean,
You know?
there's nothing you can do about that one.
Yeah.
But like I said, I guess technically, like you said, it would have done better if it had more avenues for people to see the film. You're only getting 20 people in the theater and the auditorium to see this thing, it ain't gonna make no money. The fact that it made $7 million, we should probably be jumping for joy that this
Correct.
thing made $7 million when people forgot about this film. Nobody wanted to go to the movie theaters at the time that this was being released, and you gave no video on demand option. So the simple fact is that this movie was set up to fail, and it failed just like we thought it was gonna do.
Okay, so the
And
expectations.
that's not me saying
Well, pretty
how I
much
felt
though.
about the movie.
The expectation was 8 to 10, so it barely missed that
Okay.
8 to 10 window.
Right.
But overall, it wasn't that much of an expectation. That was just 8 to 10, why not?
Right.
But realistically, they really didn't have
didn't
anything on
care.
it. So far the reviews have been horrible.
Okay. Horrible is a bad word for this film.
Negative.
It is negative. All right, negative. I'll
You'll
take negative. I'll take negative.
All right, take negative.
Look, this film is not good. You don't hate New Mutants.
Are we gonna do you don't hate New
You
Mutants?
don't hate New Mutants, but it is not good. It's got bad dialogue. Some of the CGI is questionable because this was Fox's probably like cutting corners because they knew they were like, look, we're selling to Disney anyway, so they were cutting corners at this
their
point.
problem now.
Yeah, so we don't really care. And the accent of the Russian chick who ends up being Magic was bad. And everybody talks about Scarlett Johansson's accent, going to her Russian accent. This was worse. Everybody talks about the Olsen girl and her accent. This was way worse. But that's in the conflict resolution. No spoilers. The conflict resolution to this and the ways that they get to it. You're kind of like, why would we go through all that stuff? Why did we go through all that stuff when we knew what the problem was from the beginning?
Okay, so regardless of the negative feedback,
Okay.
it was actually, I think, and others think, that this was the perfect title to put out there right now, just to see how everything would go.
I mean, everything's anything that's not got a bunch of money tied into it is the perfect title to put out there
Right
to
now,
figure out what to do.
60% of the theaters in the United States are open.
Okay.
60%. That's
Look,
not.
and you don't even have enough theaters to get $10 million.
Right. Well, if you would put Black Widow, if Mulan would have been,
What's that
if-
movie
if
that
Mulan
made
would've
$1
opened-
million?
If Mulan would have opened this past weekend, do you think that it would have made more money?
More people want to see Mulan.
But that's my point. It's just the title.
You're
string. And then-
you're gonna at least get 50 people to go see Mulan.
All right, so first of all, let me just say this right now, okay? There's been a lot of people, or I've heard some chatter here and there on Twitter about New Mutants and the horror elements that it has.
By the way, that was the best part of this film, is the horror elements. The way that they sold it in the trailer is what they actually gave you. They gave you a lot of horror elements in it. You almost felt like it wasn't a
Traditional
superhero movie.
comic
comic movie. It was. They were really trying to go for a Nightmare on Elm Street-esque type of horror film.
Which is funny you say that because one of the tribute posters.
Yeah,
that they
with
have
the whole
is-
coming through the
is-
wall.
Yeah,
but like they carry.
No, they have another one.
Okay.
They have another one of it almost looks like Dream Warriors.
No, I mean because
It's awesome.
they set it up in a sense to where you question reality versus like, and it's not dream sequences and stuff like that, but like, are they really seeing this? Is this really happening? Or are they making it up in their heads and what's contributing to the things that they are seeing? So that is damn near the plot for Nightmare on Elm Street, but they do it really well without like, beat for beat stealing Nightmare on Elm Street. They do it really well. They just had some other things that really missed. Like I said, the dialogue sucked. The dialogue sucked. The CGI on a lot of their powers were kind of.
So what I was saying was, what I was hearing was like, this is the first comic book horror movie. It's like, did we forget Blade?
We did forget Blade.
Did we forget Wesley
scared-
Snipes?
were you
Blade
scared of
1,
Blade,
Blade
though?
2.
Were you scared of Blade?
Was I scared of Blade?
I mean, were you scared about watching like Blade? Well, the first one, it was just vampires.
I think more.
He killed them pretty quickly.
I think more two. Because of the Reapers.
With the face, yeah, okay.
So I would probably say that one, but that's, to me,
okay.
That is flat out the first horror comic, period.
Okay.
That's what I think. But anyway, so now that New Mutants has come out, now that it's gotten, you know, the negative reviews and the mixed reviews, some people actually do like it. What does that say now for Wonder Woman and Black Widow?
I think they should release them both.
To keep their dates. You think they should still keep their dates?
Yeah, I think they should. And I think that they should make sure that they're available video on demand when they get released. That is an avenue for people who don't want to go to the theater, because like I said, they got 20, you're going to get 50 to 60 people. No, you get about 100 people that'll go see, you'll get about 100 people that'll go see Black Widow and Wonder Woman. But you don't want to limit yourselves by making that the only way that you're going to pull in on money on this one. I know they want to appease the movie theaters and they don't want to limit the people that do come into the doors, but trust me, when you offer video on demand, the people who are going to choose video on demand were the people who weren't going to come in the theater to begin with. The only people coming to the theater were the people that were going to come to the theater to come see it. I mean, don't lose the money. Don't let it go out there, because trust me, it will be quickly bootleg, and you're gonna be like, when the video on demand, when you finally get around to doing it, it ain't gonna get you the money you could have got if you just put it out. There is truth to that. So Josh Boone is the director of the New Mutants, and he has flat out said that this movie, these characters will not be part of the MCU, regardless of it being. I don't hate it because I didn't connect with them. Right. Could the characters under new direction, or the same characters, the same actors? Same characters in the MCU without this story, almost like rebooting the exact same movie, but for the MCU. They're too old now. As side characters. They're too old. Not even as side characters? Not even as side characters. Too old now. Okay. To portray them as New Mutants, like new kids, like in their teens that just now get their powers and don't know how to control them, as is what they portrayed in this movie and what they portray in the comic books for New Mutants. It's like now the characters are too old. They're too old. Maisie Williams was a teenager at the time. She's a freaking adult now. And I know we play older with kids and stuff like now, but she won't even look the same from the picture from her and New Mutants. And if you look on her Twitter page right now, she don't look like the same girl. She don't look like the same girl. Okay, so you were talking about streaming, and it looks like it will premiere on HBO Max. Since the TV rights belong to Fox, and that doesn't expire until 2022. I can see that. That's when that expires, and that's why we didn't get it on Disney Plus. Right. That makes sense. That's why we didn't get it on Disney Plus, because they already had streaming rights with them. But what Disney does to pretty much offset like their content is to put that more adult-oriented, mature audience stuff. Yeah. To Hulu. That's where they put their streaming stuff. To Hulu, they put it through them. Okay. Disney owns Hulu, so they put it through Hulu. No, they also got. Didn't they get South Park too? I mean, they've got some stuff that's mature. They do. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know why they would do that, but then South Park went to Hulu. South Park went to Hulu, didn't it? I don't remember. Maybe. Anyway, but it doesn't matter. Look, they're getting the Snyder Cut, and the Snyder Cut's supposed to be darker, so I mean. Well, look, New Mutants didn't have boobs in it. It just had more of a horror element to it. It's still a PG-13 movie. It was glass. It was glass. There you go. It was freaking glass. That's all it was. Like, it started good and then and then it picked up again at the end. The end was exciting. I was just like, the end. I've heard. I haven't seen it. I've walked in on some stuff, and I walked in on a little bit of the ending, and it was good, but. I just felt like the tone of it from the times that I've walked in, it was a lot like Glass to me. We could have gotten to the same resolution if we had just said this out loud, like, you're the problem. Does this pretty much state and just finally put the nail in the coffin on the X-Men? No, because Marvel's going to reboot. I know that, but I'm talking about as far as Fox's? Fox's X-Men are gone. I mean, unless you don't count Deadpool. Well, Deadpool, yeah, you're right. Only Deadpool's the only one. Yeah. And if Deadpool and Colossus and Negatonic. If they somehow, some way convince freaking Hugh Jackman, that'd be it. I think everybody else is. He's getting older. They're taking too long. We're not getting him back. Yeah, because everybody else, it's done. Yeah, it's already over. You look at New Mutants, and then you look at Dark Phoenix, and then you look at Apocalypse, and these movies were not very good. So it's like after Days of Future Past, it just went
down bad. That franchise did.
I question. I don't know.
Do you blame
which one
Jennifer
was-
Lawrence for that?
for ruining the X-Men? She was in First Class, sir, and she was in Days of Future Past.
Yeah, but after-
2 of their better movies.
Yeah. And then after that, she didn't want to wear the makeup no more, and that's when it went
And that's
down.
when it went downhill. Wear the makeup, and then that way the movie will be good.
Exactly.
That's not writing or anything.
All right.
Just the makeup.
Terrence, take us home.
All right, so we're back. I felt like this was more about a review of New Mutants than anything else for the podcast.
Pretty much.
Maybe we'll stick around and we'll do a review of Bill and Ted Face the Music, because
yeah.
I have seen that too, so maybe we could talk about that as well.
Sounds good.
But the way that you'll know about that is that you're subscribed, as well as click the notification button, so that way you'll get notified when the video drops. That's it.
All right. For Aspen and school, finally, which you better be. Art, wherever the hell he's at. It's good to be back.
It's good to be back.
It's good to be back. I have missed the Boom Boom Room. I missed you guys.
I mean, I'm here all the time. So.
We are now on Instagram, so
Yes.
you can follow us
Booty pics and everything.
at the Goods Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram. You can follow us on Twitter at the Goods Podcast. I'm in control of that. You can follow Terrence on Facebook, which he barely looks at. So mainly
I won't respond.
you're gonna mainly talk to me on Twitter, and yeah. So for Terrence over here, I'm Manny,
I'm Terrence.
and we'll see you next time.
All right, guys, I've been saying this. I hope you guys are tired, and I hope you already contributed money. But we do have a Patreon, so below you'll see the link. If you guys go to patreon.com/thegoods, please go ahead and, if you guys do like the show, please donate something. We do have giveaways for donations that we do receive. Make sure you donate something, and we get something sent out to you and make the show better.
Question for you: where does the money go? What does the money do?
My pocket.